if a person talk to you a certain way, if a person tell you something about yourself, about your life, physically, socially, or emotionally, you feel bad, you feel drained, you feel depressed. Why does this thing happen? Okay, so before I go any further, we always see that any information that get into the subconscious mind or that is being expressed from the subconscious mind, you're not going to be aware of it. This is an unconscious. I always stressed on that so people can understand it. That this is an unconscious process. So you're not going to be aware on when any idea is getting into your subconscious mind, and neither when it is being expressed on your behaviors. This is an unconscious process. You're forced it. You don't know it. You just say, okay, this is where the idea that I'm a poor person is getting into my subconscious mind. Let me remove it. Doesn't work out. Neither you'll be aware when you're expressing this idea, for example, that you are a poor person or life is hard. So you're not going to be aware on how you are going to, or when you are expressing this belief. Okay? So this is just a parenthesis here for you to understand this part. But let's go now on how the belief are converted into feels that drives your behavior, that drives your action whenever you are being submitted towards an external fact. Okay, so the belief that you have on your subconscious mind, they are technically divided into two categories. So for you to understand what I'm going to show, we have belief that we have about yourself, okay, self section, and we have the belief that we have about the world. Okay, so for the purpose of this video, which is trying to understand why you get mad, why you get depressed, why you get anxious whenever you're having a bad conversation with someone, or someone tell you something and you feel bad, you feel anxious, you feel depressed, you feel powerless about the person, about the idea or the assumption or the belief that the people are trying to suggest to you. So we said we're gonna use this for the purpose of the video, okay? But let's go to that. So we have belief that we have about ourselves, and we have belief that we have about the world. Okay? So the belief we have about ourselves, they are the one that build the image. They are the one that build the concept that we have about ourselves. Okay? Even though you don't know it, by knowing it, I mean you're not aware of it, every one of us has a self-image, has a self-concept. So every one of us conceptualize themselves a certain way. Okay? You always have a mental image of who you are. You always have a mental conception of who you are. Okay? And we said in previous video that any belief that you have, they serve as a reference point. You can always go into our previous video, you'll see that. And see that we said that any belief that you had, either about yourself or the world, they serve as the reference point. Okay? So this mental image, this mental conception that you have about yourself, even though you're not aware of it, we said that every one of us has this mental image, this mental concept, unconsciously. This is what will drive your behavior towards the situation that you're having with a friend, with a family member, with your kid, with your boss. Okay? This is what will drive your behavior, your action. I'm going to explain that further, but I want you to take some time for yourself and understand that you have a mental image. you have a mental concept of us. I can't tell you what it is because this is your mental concept. Okay. And this is one of the problems that we have, which is the reason we have so much depression, is because people are waiting for another person to tell them what their conception, what the image of themselves is. Okay, and I'm going to go deeper in that later on, but I want you to understand and take some time for yourself to understand that you have a mental framework, a mental conception about yourself. Okay, and this mental conception, this mental image that you have about yourself, this is what determines the way you act, the way you behave. Okay, so what happened with the mental image and the mental conception? I'm going to explain to you here the process, which is very, very important to understand. Let me go through that. Okay, so let's go with the mental image, the mental conception, otherwise called self-image and self-conception. I think these words are more common, so you might have heard of them somewhat. Okay, so what is the self-image? What is the self-conception? And how does they drive your behavior action towards the situation that you have? First thing we have to know that this mental image is unconscious for most of us. Okay? And for those of us that know it, that are aware of some particular aspect of the self-image, of the self-conception, they are trying to hide the self-image and the self-conception. This is why what Carl Jung, a great psychoanalyst, called the shadow. Okay? So these are the part that you're trying to hide, you're trying to avoid. Okay? So for those of us who know them but not comfortable with them, so they're part of a shadow now. But this is not the subject for today. This is a subject for another video. But I want you to understand that this mental image or this mental conception, they serve for you as a reference point. Okay? So this reference point, you have it on your unconscious mind. And this is what drives your reaction, your behaviors towards the situation. Let me give you an example. If someone tells you that you are a very ugly person, okay? I don't know in any situation that you were with this person. I don't know any environment that you were in. This person says very loudly that, man, you're a very ugly person. I can't believe you're so ugly, man. There are two situations that can happen. The first one, you can laugh. The second one, you can feel bad, depressed, or sad. And there's a worse one where you can feel angry. Okay? But all these are your reaction, your reaction, your behavior to this external factor, which is in that case a person that tells you that you're an ugly person. Let me explain each one of them. So, on the case that a person could laugh, when a person tells tell her that you're a very ugly person, I can't believe you're so ugly, is because this person has a mental image of themselves. Okay? So if they believe and know deeply that they are not, or they do not perceive themselves as an ugly person, so they will laugh at the situation. Why? Because it doesn't affect them. Because what the person is saying what the person is telling them and what they believe they know about themselves is different. So, in another case where a person could feel bad, depressed, sad, or angry, is because there is a correlation between the idea expressed by the external person, which is you can be a friend, family member, stranger, is because there's a correlation between the idea expressed and the belief that you have about yourself, the perception that you have about yourself. So if there is any correlation, even though you're not accepting it, which is the shadow, you feel one of these. You feel bad, depressed, sad, angry, even worse. One, because you are allowing a correlation between the suggestion of the person and the belief that you have about yourself. Now, I'm going to show you where, this video, I'm going to divide it into two parts. So I think this is the part two that you're watching right now. I'll show you where the change has to always start from within. Because most people think that for them to change their life, it must start from the without. It doesn't start from the without. It's always start from the within. If you remember earlier on this video, I said that the external factor, what did I say? You do not have control over them. So you don't have any control at all. To avoid that this external person, which can be your friend, your family member, your kid, the stranger, to stop telling you that you're an ugly person. There is no control at all. And that's the reason on this channel, we always try to help people change, to help people transform from the within. Because this is where you have control. Okay? And we have a course about it. It's a transformation course that helps you transform your life, to apply the knowledge that you've been acquiring over the years, the knowledge that you've been acquiring over the month, and implement them in your life. Because before I prefer, a lot of people, they've been reading books, they've been watching videos, they've been in seminars, buying courses, and all the information they've been acquiring, it makes sense for them. So they understand that, yeah, this information makes sense. And it's very, very good. That's true. But why can't they apply it in their life? Why can't they implement it in their life? It's because they don't understand and master the process of change, the process of transformation. Because like we said earlier on this video, what you know, the knowledge that you are acquiring, they're all stuck on your conscious mind. Because you know them. Okay? So this is you and this is, this is that. Okay? So for you to transform your life, these knowledge, these insight must be within you. You must what we call embody them. Okay? This is just was a parenthesis for you to understand. So if you're interested more, the link is always on the description of any video. So, reason that you don't have control of an external situation. That's the reason change must start from within. You must change the mental image, the mental framework that you have on your mind. Because this is what is going to help you to behave differently. In this example, for example, to laugh. And this is just a simple, very basic example. But you can implement that in your life in any area where you feel where you felt offended, depressed, unmotivated, powerless, sad, angry towards event, towards situation of life. And if you're trying to blame them all the time, it's very hard, almost impossible for you to change your life. Because we always say that from our videos as well. We always say, we just put it here for you. We always say that the more power you give away, is the more responsibility you're giving away. Okay? So the more responsibility you're giving away is the less chance you have to change your life. So if you're always blaming someone or something, you have no chance at all to change your life because you wait for them, either this person or the situation, to change in order for your life to be changed. And the change always starts from within because this is where you have control over. You don't have control over the external factors. Okay? And we took the example of the guy. So he can't have any control at all to tell this person, yo, man, stop calling me ugly. There's no control at all. So a change starts from within, from the mental image that we have, from the mental conception that you have, and from the mental perception, the way you perceive yourself. Now we say, these are unconscious. And for some of these persons that knows part of these mental image, conception, and perception, most of the things that they know, most of the parts that they know, they are not accepting it. Okay? So what they do is they push it. And when they push it towards it, and it was on the shadows. We have it here, the shadows. And this is another subject for another video. Okay? But you have it. And this mental image, this mental framework that you have about yourself, this is what you have whenever a person is telling you something about your life, yourself. So any information you receive from the outer world will be in contrast with this mental framework, with this mental conception that you have about yourself. And this is what is going to make your life worse because you always feel angry, sad, unmotivated, depressed, and you go nowhere until you change the mental perception, the way you see yourself, the way you conceive yourself, the way that you see yourself. Because the way you see yourself, the way you conceive your perception about yourself, we always had previous video, this is what determines who you can be, who you cannot be, what you can do, what you cannot do, what you can have, and what you cannot have. So there are a degree of abundance for you to have it in your life. You must allow this degree of abundance internally for you to receive it. Okay? And we had video about. So this is the way for you to change your life. Okay? Because all transformation starts from within. And the transformation process is a step-by-step process. Like I said, we have a course about it. The link is always in the description where we go deeper into the steps. Okay? So you can understand them and apply them. So it goes with 5 modules. You can go ahead on the website and check them out. It's very useful for you. Just take a look. Okay? So you can understand. So this was my message for you today. And it's hope this video helps you somewhere to go and take some time for yourself and understand that you have a mental framework, that you have a mental image, a mental conception about yourself. And this mental conception, this is what create this contrast with any external information that you have. Okay? And we say also earlier in the video that we also have belief about the world. So this is another subject for another video. So I just want to say that this belief that you have about the world and how the world should be, this image that you have about the world, this perception that you have about the world, this is what will determine what you be, do, and have in your life. Okay? So I hope this video will help you. And my recommendation for you is take some time, observe. Most people don't observe themselves. Take some time, observe yourself, observe your behavior, observe your way of thinking, observe your emotion. Because believe me, change starts from within. And the first step is awareness. Go check the transformation process on our website. You understand that.